Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a wonderful day out there. Hope everything's going well for you and that you weren't in D.C. yesterday. Good Lord, what a shit show that was. What is this? This is Thursday? I almost titled this, They've Ruined Hump Day. Because that's how I feel about it. They just ruined Hump Day. It's one of my favorite days of the week, you guys. It is my favorite day of the week. It's Hump Day. Oh, God, they just ruined it. And over what? Well, I mean, for what, I guess is the better way to say it. For what? What did you accomplish with that, you know? Before we get to that, I do want to thank James Colley once more for the generous donation earlier. And you guys can blame him for me being later than I meant to be tonight because he gave a very kind donation that made it so that I could get a 23andMe done, which is something I've talked about and that I want to do and discuss the results here on the show. So I go over there and I order it. And it says, how do you want to pay? And I say, my PayPal. And it says, is this your order? I'm like, yes, that's my order. They're like, do you want to confirm this? I'm like, yes. And I'm like, and they said, okay, you've ordered it. And I was like, but you never asked for my address. Never asked for my address. I wasn't signed in as a user. I'm not linked through Google or anything. So I'm like, where are you sending it? So I had to stop and cancel the order. And tomorrow I'll look into it a little bit further because I was just like, good God, at some point you should ask me where I want it sent to. But so I was late trying to get that all figured out. Unfortunately. I mean, not late because I'm never late here, but it started later than I meant it to. It should have started about 3:30ish. Your PayPal has your address. That's true, but by the time you get to how you're going to pay, because my other choice to pay was, let's see, I had PayPal credit, and credit card. If I paid by credit card, do they ask? At some point, it would have been nice to them go, this is how we got your address. And I even went over there and like, how do you get my address? And nothing would say so. Oh, okay. And then there was a little chat now thing. So I clicked that and it's a robot. And it says, which one of these 4 things do you want to talk about? I said, none. And it said, would you like to talk to customer support? And I said, yes. And it said, what's your email? So I put my email and they said, okay, we're sending this question to our support team. I'm like, I haven't answered or asked a fucking question yet. I didn't ask a fucking question. How are you sending a question I didn't ask? Literally, my answers were none, yes, and gave my email address. It takes the info from your PayPal. I would have a problem with that if that's true. Because you should still confirm my order with me. With my, like, is this where you want to send to? They have horrible service there. I might do Ancestry.com just as a fuck them for, seriously, who doesn't have, how do you not verify address? Maybe I've moved since I got my PayPal, for fuck's sake. Anyhow. Chat robots are the worst, looking for the one for Disney Plus concerning their group watch feature. The chat robot for AT&T, it's really easy. You just say, as soon as it pops up, just say, I need to talk to a person. And they're like, all right, we're going to transfer you. Every other one is a giant pain in the ass. I would rather have somebody say, I don't know, than have to talk to this thing for 10 minutes before somebody tells me I don't know. Expo Hotep says, like, what if you wanted to send it to someone else? Exactly. What if I wanted it sent to an address where I wasn't going to be? You know, or where, say I was out of state right now. And be like, I want it sent here to where I am. Tell me, don't fucking just guess my address. That is poor customer service. Monkey, what'd you think of the guy who had his feet up on Pelosi's desk? Symbolic. I want to know who that guy is, and I think it was a jackass move. That's what I think. Now, there's a video of that Air Force vet that was shot in the neck. Are you talking about the lady who died? There's several videos of that. I saw at least two different ones. Ancestry is run by the Mormons. I have nothing against the Mormons, especially if they'll ask me for my fucking address when I'm trying to get something sent to me. Again, Monk, I think you start this show as I'm going to sleep. Or maybe me talking is what puts you to sleep. Feeling well, he's going to go get some sleep, and I hope he does. I hope he gets some rest. I understand those days. And it's just going to be you and me, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing, because I might be a little bit ranty tonight. Before we get to ranty, can I show you something? I want to acknowledge something that I saw today, and we're gonna watch it. It's from Adonis Bartolote, a viewer of the show. He did a video, y'all. He took some of the audio from an older show and set it to a animation that he had done, and it was amazing, and it made me laugh, and I enjoyed it a lot, and so I'm going to make you guys watch it. I will drop the link after we see it. Share audio and full screen that bitch. There we go. Some of you will remember this day, but the animation that goes with it just makes me laugh my ass off. Here we go. Logic will not work, and so I'm interested to see what they suggest, because it's not in me not to be logical. Look, I've been wrong. My logic's been faulty before. And if you point that out, hi, beautiful.
Did I scare you?
No, I heard you.
Okay, I'll try again.
Okay, you try again. I love you.
Love you.
She's trying to scare me. Guys. You got me that time.
Okay, I thought so.
You look very pretty. She's gorgeous, y'all. But the audience said you scared them.
Oh, okay, good.
And they're all saying hi.
Hi, everybody.
Doesn't she have the cutest little voice? I love you. She keeps leaving without saying I love you. The fuck was I talking about? Are you okay?
I cracked myself up.
I see that.
Okay. You're fine. I'll stop interrupting and I apologize.
You're fine. Are you going somewhere?
Yeah, I was going to go to the store.
Okay. I'd offer to go with you, but after yesterday, I just can't.
Okay.
I love you. Will you grab bread?
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie. God damn it. Drive safe. She's going to do it again. There she is. All right. God damn it. I can see that logic will not work. If you're arguing from emotion, no amount of logic will convince you.
Okay, seriously, I'm done this time.
I don't believe you. You've broken the trust.
It's my job.
I know.
Bye, chat.
Love you, baby. Anyhow. Jesus Christ. What were we talking about? Logic. We're talking about logic. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up here because I'm going to go play a video game or something. Actually, I might go down. Oh, my God. Hey, I'm wrapping up. Tell the people bye.
Hello, people.
I said tell them bye.
Yeah, you're not the boss of me.
I am aware. I feel like Al Bundy right now. Didn't the man used to be the boss?
Oh.
No, that's all right.
No.
Yeah, I know. I love you. Guys, thanks for watching. Thank you so much.
Welcome, everybody.
Thank you so much for the donations. You're very, very generous. Thank you.
I love you, chat.
Are you done?
Possible. And ask the people. People, am I done?
Tonight will be on my channel right here, 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. Scribbles has a night off, so it'll be me and Satsu. I don't know if I'll invite anybody else. We'll see what happens. As for whether I'll game throughout the day, maybe we'll see what happens there. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
She's over there interrupting my Adonis Bartolone made that, and I watched it like 4 times. I enjoyed it so much. Let me get the link so I can throw that in the chat. Check it out. It's fucking great. Go over there. Even though I know you just all watched it, go over there and tell him what a good job he did and give him a thumbs up and a follow. That was awesome. I never expected anything like that to be done about this show. And it was, I seriously, I just laughed my ass off. I remember that day very well. And that is my life. Just so many. Has Lady Monkey seen it? Not that I'm aware of. By the time I saw it, she was already in bed. She was already asleep. So yeah, but it is amazing. He has my even had my candle on the desk, because I usually have candles on the desk. Real candles, not the one like I'm about to use. But yeah, that was fucking amazing. Adonis, thank you so very, very much. You do have a dildo as a mic? No, but I mean, I suppose it's shaped like one you could use if you wanted. I mean, it's a little squared at the end. I'm not your mom. He forgot the ashtray though. Remember? No, it's candles. Candles. So it would be a wax bowl. The 3 little monkeys in the picture is great. Yeah, that was a very awesome thing, and some of the attention to detail there. There's some details there that if you have listened long enough, you'll actually pick up on some of the things he did there. But yeah, it was really good, and it's nice to have a little laugh before we get into the rest of the fucking day. I'm going to he should do one where she scares you in Phasmophobia. Find the clip and maybe he would. I just ate 50 Kinder eggs. I'm full of surprises. Stop it, Mighty Balzac. Thank you for the thank you for the donation, but stop it. How dare you? Oh God. Yeah, I don't really want to get serious. I don't. Because getting serious is going to piss me off. And I know that. And it's going to cause some of you to be mad at me too, and that's all right. That's fine, because we're allowed to have disagreements. But we have enough disagreement in the world at the moment. Enough disagreement in our country at the moment. There really is. And making it worse is not the answer, I don't think. At least the way I think. So they were going to certify the election results yesterday. And there was a planned protest there at the Capitol. There was already stuff starting the night before. Tuesday night, there was some altercations for the people who were coming into town early for the next day's events. And then, what time was it? 2 o'clock, 3, somewhere around there. I forget when exactly. The protesters pushed over a police barrier and marched their asses up to the Capitol building and broke into it. And one of them went and sat in Pelosi's chair and got his picture taken. By the way, good job getting yourself arrested, jackass, because they're going to find you and you're going to be one of the ones who's made to pay for it. Nicely done. Made fools of themselves. One woman got shot. Not by protesters. Protesters, there was no violence towards each other. 4 people died. 4 people died. 3 of them reportedly from health complications. I don't know what the fuck that means. That's what was reported. Just saying. The other one was trying to break through a door, and there's a single shot. You see people kind of help her fall to the ground. Blood coming out of her neck and mouth. And yeah, she died for that. It means COVID, monkey. Yeah. And what did they accomplish? The vote still got certified. Nothing changed, except for now there's a dead woman. I don't see how that's anything worth celebrating, anything worth cheering. I don't see anything positive about what I saw there. World News is painting them as terrorists. Oh, local news is painting them as terrorists as well. I saw the video of the shooting. It makes me sick. Yeah, it was hard to watch. There's a couple, like I said, I've seen at least two different angles of that. And the first one it's kind of hard to tell what's went on, but that second one is, pretty clear. They gave Republicans an excuse to pussy out, to be honest. Well, you're not wrong about that. And that's, Jonas, I'm glad you brought that up. I am. And right below that, Ebony says they just gave the Dems what they wanted. And you're not wrong about that either. Did you guys see, what the fuck's that? Oh, I almost dropped the hard F word. Whoops. What the hell's that? The name of that idiot? Fuck, I can't find his name. We'll see him here in a second because we're going to watch this moron. We've talked a little bit about optics. We've talked, a whole lot about optics, to be honest. Now, this is going to be hard to hear. I apologize, but I will do my best to make it so that the volume, it's as loud as it can be. Let's just listen.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Madam Speaker, I came here tonight.
Can you guys hear that okay? Do I need to keep my voice down a little bit like this so that I'm not over shouting it? I will do my best to do so. Is my voice at least okay with what that conversation is? Because this is a shithead who is in your Congress, and he's up there to talk tonight after the certificate or for the certification, and this is what he says.
Prepared to talk about the place I represent and how well the Democratic and Republican county officials ran our election. I wanted to point out that in my home county of Allegheny County, in the place they were counting the votes, there were 31 video cameras, 31 in the same place, just showing people counting votes, every single one of them on paper with representatives from both campaigns watching.
This guy's from Pennsylvania. You notice what he didn't talk about when he said that, how great they did. He didn't bring up the votes that showed up in the middle of the night, oddly, when they were like, yeah, we're done counting.
I wanted to point out to all these great lovers and supporters of the Pennsylvania legislature that it was the Republican Pennsylvania legislature that passed a Republican bill that they all voted for and supported that set up the system under which we just ran the election.
Bullshit, you lying fuck. I'm sorry if I just blasted anybody's ears out who tried to turn this up, but fuck you, you asshole. That is not the legislation that they passed.
And that the reason the president lost was because he was not as popular as other Republicans in our state. He got fewer votes than all of them.
Which is one of those things that makes people say, how did this happen? That all of these Republicans won all over the place and Trump still lost in numbers that make no fucking sense at all. At all. But to this guy, yes, they just didn't like him enough. Even though Donald Trump, last I knew, what was it, 20 million more votes than last time? 15 million? Somebody help me out. It's been a moment since I looked. Is it 15 million more than he got in 2016? Michael says, thank you, Monkey from Philly. I'm just going, but look, if he was right, I would say he was right, but he's a fucking liar. He's an absolute fucking liar. 12 million. 12 million. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it was 63 million or 62 million back in 2016. And 70, is it 74 million? I thought it was like 75. Yeah, either way, an ass ton more, an amount that should have made people go, wow, Like, you don't just pick up that amount of votes and it not be important. 20%. 20% more. And they're like, yeah, they just didn't like Trump as much as they liked other Republicans. This gets better, though.
I wanted to lay out all this evidence, Madam Speaker, because I thought it was a sign of respect for my colleagues, for all the Americans out there.
You wanted to lie as a sign of respect to your colleagues. Huh.
Who don't know who to trust. I was raised on that. I was raised on that respect.
Thank you, Gamer Valine, and sorry, whoever, if I just blew out people's ears. I forgot I have the alert that I usually hear. That's what you guys hear. Gamer Valine, thank you. Yeah, that's why they wanted to abolish the Electoral College back in 2016, because he had 63 million votes and still beat Hillary. And yeah, you're not wrong there. Eval Potato, thank you so much. I really like how they say there were people from both sides there watching, but they're watching from like 20 feet away where they can't actually see what's going on. And if they object to it, they get thrown out. But it's all for COVID safety, right? Indeed. All right, hang on just a second, guys. I need to fix that so I'm not deafening you with this fucking quiet ass moron. Because I imagine some of you had to turn your speakers up. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but I feel bad about that because I've blown out my own ears doing that before. All right. Share screen. There. Now I'll still get the alerts, but you guys won't hear them. There we go.
Which makes this a hard speech for me to give.
No, it doesn't, you lying prick.
Because to do this with any kind of honesty means admitting and declaring in this House that these objections don't deserve an ounce of respect.
This is the problem. This is the problem. They don't deserve an ounce of respect. Guys, we may get into what happened at the Capitol, and I will admonish the people who did what they did. Absolutely. But if you want to see me go into that in any great detail, you probably want to watch Lords of the Night tonight, because tonight it's shitbags like this on my, I was going to say in my firing line, but you can't say that anymore, can you? It's people like this that I can't say taking aim at either. What the fuck? Who have my ire. How about that? I think that's safe to say. Mighty Balzac, thank you. He should work in a bottling plant as a cork soaker. I'm just going to let that one fly.
Not an ounce. A woman died out there tonight, and you're making these objections.
That woman dying has fuck all to do with their objections. Oh, don't worry. He's gonna tie it in the same way so many other fucking morons have tied this in. That woman dying had nothing to do with that. None. And you know what? You know what? Let's just keep going.
Let's be clear about what happened in this chamber today. Invaders came in for the first time since the War of 1812.
Wrong. Now, if you're talking about that specific chamber, sure. But if you're talking about, yeah, right, Jordan, time to stand on a corpse. How happy are they that they had one to crawl up on top of? Because these Democrats love nothing more than a dead fucking body. A dead body that they can hold up and go, look. Listening to these assholes today on the Twitter machine, I pointed out to several of them that the Democrats in Congress, I don't know if he was in there at the time, but they were the Democrats in the House. Stage a protest on the floor of the House where they weren't supposed to be, where they were not acting civilly, where they held a sit-in. Virgil, thank you. That woman died because she objected, right? If you want to do that woman a service, what you should be doing is listening respectfully to what the other side is saying and making an argument against it in good faith. That's how you honor her memory if that's what you really want to do, rather than just standing on her dead fucking body, you prick. You absolute piece of human garbage. This guy. This guy.
They desecrated these halls and this chamber and practically every inch of ground where we work.
We're going to come back to that in just a second.
And for the most part, they walked in here free. A lot of them walked out free. And there wasn't a person watching at home who didn't know why that was.
Oh boy. All right. You might want to turn your volume back down for just a second. JY, thank you. That punk needs to not be standing on the corpse of a U.S. veteran. This fucking prick. Did you hear what this shithead just said? What this motherfucker just said? They walked out too, and we know why. We know why. Why? Do you guys know what he's getting at? Do you know what that's in reference to? Because they're white. That's right. They let them honkies go. Let them honkies just walk out free. If those were black people, they'd be dead. Yeah. Do you know how many people were arrested for the occupation of Nancy Pelosi's office? Take your time. Yeah, exactly. None. And that was a Democratic group that did that. And now that same Democratic group, we just read an article. The timing of this could not be more, are you out of your fucking mind? Read an article 3 or 4 days ago on Lords of the Night. We're talking about this place called the Sunshine. It's a PAC, the Sunshine Movement. These motherfuckers, the most famous thing they've done is hold a sit-in Nancy Pelosi's office. They stormed her office. This isn't the first time somebody stormed Nancy's office. And they were allowed to just walk out. And they were cheered. They were cheered as heroes for trying to hold her to make sure that she would have a vote on the Green New Deal. And these shitheads have been in cahoots with the Biden administration. The whole article was about how they've gained so much prominence in the Biden camp. Storm the Capitol. And they were hailed as heroes because they were doing it for the right cause, you guys. By the way, they were almost all white.
Because of the way that they look.
House will be in order.
He just accused all of the police at the Capitol of being racist. I don't know if you caught that. They were allowed to leave because of the way they look. Well, the people who let them leave would be the police. They only arrested a handful of people compared to how many was there. I think it was like a dozen or so that the official report is of how many have been arrested. Last I saw, and in fairness, that's been a couple of hours. So, Mighty Balzac, thank you. He used to run a restaurant. He sacked a few cooks. Who, this guy? Wow. I don't know this guy other than the fact that he's an asshole. And we're not even, we're a third of the way into this fucking video, and I'm not even done being pissed off yet. This motherfucker standing on the back of a dead woman claiming everybody is fucking racist. Who is this guy? I forget his fucking name. I wish I could remember. Give me a second. If somebody beats me to it in chat, I appreciate it. But otherwise, give me a second. I know where to look to find it. It was in trending. Connor Lamb of Pennsylvania. That's his name. Connor Lamb. Fucking prick. So far, he's decided that he doesn't have to be any kind of civil person to his fellow colleagues. And that their objections that this woman died for, by the way. And again, I don't think she should have died. I think she should have stayed outside where they should have all been out there. But that is what happened. So let's not turn around and pretend that like she was she was there defending from these people and ended up dead. No. She was there on the side of the Republicans that you just told their arguments aren't worth hearing. If you gave a shit about this dead woman, you'd be like, we need to sit and respectfully listen to you. I'm sorry for the way I've tried to politicize this to this point. That's what you should have done. And from there, he goes on to condemn all Capitol Hill police officers, Secret Service, and specifically the inside the Capitol here, of being racist. All right, you guys might want to turn it back up because I'm going to let him talk in 3, 2, 1, now.
My point, Madam Speaker, is this. Enough has been done here today already to try to strip this Congress of its dignity.
Oh, boy. Enough has been done to strip this Congress of its dignity. Oh, for fuck's sake. It gets better. I've watched this up until it was about the 4-minute point that I was like, nope, we'll just watch the rest of it on stream. Here we go.
And these objectors don't need to do any more. We know that attack today, it didn't materialize out of nowhere. It was inspired by lies, the same lies that you're hearing in this room tonight.
How is it that anytime something happens and you can point and say Republicans or conservatives did that, they can always point to what caused it? In this case, it was because Donald Trump has been questioning the election. These Congress people have been questioning the election. When it comes to lies, outright lies on the Democratic side, things like, I don't know, the Russian hoax, Brett Kavanaugh being a rapist, these things never inspire violence, even though there's tons of violence around it. Tons of violence that happens in protests because of it. That's never because of what they say. They never have to watch what they're saying. Thank you, Eval Potato. I was reminded a couple hours ago that about the BLM riots. Half a year ago happened that in D.C., where they set fires and burned down that church and tried to storm the White House. What were they called again? Terrorists or violent? Fucking hypocrites. Yeah. There is one thing that makes me laugh about this, because all of these people went into hiding, and many of them went to Twitter to call Donald Trump a coward for hiding when they were trying to attack the White House. You guys remember that? Don't bring that up, though, because they don't like to talk about it.
And the members who are repeating those lies should be ashamed of themselves. Their constituents should be ashamed of them.
You're not even willing to listen to what they're saying. You're not even willing to admit that the Democrats in Pennsylvania took that law that you said that the Republicans passed in the legislature to set the laws for voting. They took that and they shit all over it. And the governor made a whole new set of laws that went all the way to the state Supreme Court. And the state Supreme Court said, yeah, that's fine. And our own Supreme Court of the United States declined to hear that, even though that right there, based on all precedent, should have been an immediate rejection of what happened in Pennsylvania. An immediate rejection. Over and over and over again, the Supreme Court has held that the state legislatures get to make the laws, like he claims happened. And you know what? They did pass laws, but not the ones that were followed through on that day. Now, what he's probably getting at is the ability to vote by mail, and that's part of it. But what he doesn't talk about is the extending the mail-in date. I'm sorry. The mail received date. This guy's a fucking prick.
And we know what's going to happen as soon as I walk away. What's happened all night tonight, what will continue to happen, they will take these same symbols, these same concepts, they'll smuggle them into their arguments, they'll make the same arguments. And I want people at home.
They're going to smuggle them into their arguments. This guy used to be a Marine? Thank you for your service, but you're a prick.
Anyone who is still watching to know these arguments are not for them. They're for you. none of the evidence we wanted to discuss here tonight will change their opinions or what they're about to say. But you need to know that's not the end. It's not as if there's nothing we can do because of that, and if there was, I don't think this nation would have made it to almost 250 years. The fact is, Madam Speaker, the fact is that at the end of the day, people...
Sorry, I don't know how I ended up muted there. Yeah, I am muted. What I was going to say is there's a guy objecting right now. Don't turn your volume up. It's you keep freezing, Monk. Oh, yeah, there wasn't a freeze there. I just was paused. Is everybody hearing me okay now? I was just muted, guys. I was just muted. And I paused the screen, so it might have looked like I froze up. Hold on. Anyway, he's coming to the mic, but he's not close enough to it. Even I can't hear what he says until he gets close enough to where he's like this. Once he gets there, then he'll be about the same thing. Just all you need to know is that he's objecting to this, and you'll figure out what he's objecting to.
Gentleman will say his point of order.
Yes, ma'am. Point of order, the gentleman said that there were lies on this floor here today, looking over this direction. I asked that those words be taken down. We may have a disagreement on matters, but...
Mr. Rand, it's not timely.
Gamer Vleen, thank you. I'm so glad he waited long enough for rigor mortis. Shouldn't have. Sorry. I'm so glad he waited long enough. Rigor mortis should have fully set in. Ironically, I'm sending you the article about that objection. Thank you. And Snub, thank you. Penboy needs to remember something. Those violent objectors reach that room with no effort. They can reach him with little to no effort. I would be really delicate with how he runs his mouth. I get what you're saying, but he knows he's in no danger. Let's be honest about what happened for just a moment, can we? These people were shitheads. They're absolute shitheads, but they weren't being violent to anybody. They weren't hurting anyone other than breaking property, which, by the way, in my opinion, is still enough to arrest the little shits. They should have gone to jail for it. I'm standing by that. But these people were in no danger. The only violence that we actually really saw against somebody was that girl getting shot. But anyway, Nancy's telling this guy who's objecting to the fact that he was just called a fucking liar, telling him to go piss up a rope. There are rules of decorum that should have made his objection immediately upheld. But that would be if you had somebody other than a shitbag of a woman holding that gavel right now.
So the gentleman's name was not timely. You didn't register an appropriate time.
You didn't register in the appropriate time for an objection. That's not how objections work, Madam Speaker. You've been there long enough to know that bullshit. You lie. I fucking hate these people.
The gentleman will proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the fact is that at the end of the day...
Yeah, look, you
Look, it's
say
sad, but
that
it's
about me
true.
every single...
Hang on just a second. I got to back that up. Listen to what she says here.
The gentleman will proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the fact is that at the end of the day...
Yeah, look, You,
Look, it's
you
sad,
say
but
that
it's
about me
true.
every single day. So
The truth
just
hurts.
hold your tongue.
You say that about me every single day. You say that about me every single day. There's a difference between going on. Look, there should be some decorum when you're talking about your colleagues like this anyway, but there's a difference from going on TV and going, that's a lying bitch, and then going up to the House floor and calling people liars in a joint session of Congress. There's decorum that's supposed to be held there. And pay attention because a lot of what you're seeing right here has been going on for a long, long time. And we're going to get into that in a little while.
The gentleman will proceed.
It hurts.
Okay.
It hurts them. It hurts this country. It hurts all of us. But the fact is that the people have made this country work by not giving in. Go ahead, shout it out. Say
The
one thing
gentleman
that's
is
true.
not in order. The gentleman will proceed.
Almost ready.
The gentleman will proceed.
One last thing to say, Madam Speaker, and I thank you for your patience. All people need to know, all they need to know tonight, Madam Speaker,
There'll be order in the House. There'll be order in the House. There'll be order in the House.
I wish they would have moved the camera.
The gentleman will clear this chamber. The gentleman will clear the chamber.
John Doe says they won't let him speak. Well, no, it's not just that they won't let him speak. He made a valid objection to what was going on. And Nancy Pelosi's like, you didn't make time to make an objection. What she was saying there is that you did not register so that you would have some time to speak. Because what you do is you go, yes, I'd like some time to speak. And they go, all right, we recognize the gentleman from X. He's making an objection. You know, you didn't do it right. Get out. Not just Undead Ramen. It wasn't just that he didn't object in time. It was that he didn't object by having a proper time to object. What she's saying here is that he should have known in advance that this guy was going to say something stupid, call him a fucking liar, and register time with her to object while he was talking to get that done, which is not how it ever works. Ever. Fucking ever.
Gentleman will proceed.
thank you, Madam Speaker. The truth hurts. But the fact
He is making a grade school comment. The truth hurts, don't it?
is this. We want this government to work more than they want it to fail. And after everything that's happened today, we want that more than ever. Know that, the people watching at home. We want this government to work. We will make it work. They will not make it fail. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I yield back.
And then they clap for him like a bunch of fucking baby moron seals. We will make this government work. We want it to work more than they want it to fail. More than they want it to fail. They don't want the government to fail, you idiot. What they want is truth. That's the part. It's almost Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth, for fuck's sake. That's what they are asking for. That's it. Lancelot, thank you. Morning Monk. Not that I disagree, but what is the title about? Oh, we're getting there. We're talking about it right now, actually. I'm so tired of this, and I've seen it all day. And Republicans, you actually set them up for this. You gave it to them on a silver platter. They don't even have to try. They get to now pretend like everything they've done for the last, it's not even 4 years. It's more than that. This goes back to Ferguson. All of the bullshit that they pulled, all of the protests, all of the storming of Capitol buildings, which, by the way, has happened repeatedly. Well, even though it wasn't the United States Capitol, several state capitals have been actually stormed. Not like the storming here in Michigan, where they were let in orderly fashion and left in orderly fashion by all accounts except for the media. Everybody involved was like, yeah, they were perfectly friendly. They walked in and did what they think. But there's that one picture of that guy screaming at the cops. Except he wasn't actually screaming at the cops. He was screaming at people behind them. All of that goes away now. These people, including that fucking speaker, Madam Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, stormed the House because the Republicans were conducting business and they didn't like it. And so they had a sit-in. This is the one where they actually wore, some of them admitted to wearing diapers in there so they didn't have to leave. Yeah. That's the kind of shit that these guys did. The Democrats and the media, they're the reasons this looks like something you should do. And here's what I mean by that. There's a certain contingent of the conservative side that's out there that are saying, we need to act like shitbags. That's not the words they use. It's what they mean. They say we should act like they do. You know, when they're acting like shitbags. Well, why do they say that? Well, that's because that's how you get listened to. Burning down Minneapolis, taking over 6 city blocks in Seattle, 8 months of violence in Portland. That's changing the narrative, you guys. It's changing our country. It's all for the greater good. And that's not counting places like St. Louis where Breonna Taylor was killed. And so they've destroyed parts of the city. That's fucking smart. Los Angeles, Miami, New York, all over the fucking place where they had riots all over this country. I'm sorry, peaceful protests. When we saw the actual violence, that's just peaceful protest. Actual violence. Saw people get the absolute shit kicked out of them. Saw a man murdered in open view. I was going to say broad daylight, but it was night. Guy just walks up and shoots him in the stomach for no fucking reason. Claims the guy was messing with his friend. That guy didn't get half the attention that Kyle Rittenhouse got. And Kyle Rittenhouse, the video of him shows him literally defending his own life. The other guy just walked up, popped the guy in the stomach. Democrats are shitbags. They've been doing this shit for a long time. They've been building and building and building. And they have shown you. They have shown that the only way to get things done is to act like this. They're wrong. Prospero said something tonight in the chat. So the way you actually win this is by winning the culture war. And I agree. And I know that's hard. And I know it's frustrating. Believe me, I've been out there. I've been on the lines, guys, in the culture war. And I've had everything I've said either taken out of context or blatantly lied about. So I get it. I get that it's not easy. But how can you look at Donald Trump's win in 2016 and then Satsu, let me know if you want to come hang out. He says he's too annoyed to sleep. I understand. But how do you look at Donald Trump's win in 2016 and then turn around and go, the only way we can do this is through violence? Actually, somebody said that in the chat that I was not in our chat, but in a conversation on Twitter. Somebody's like, the only thing that gets things done is bold moves. Really? Because I'm fairly certain that Donald Trump didn't burn down anything to get elected. I'm fairly certain that was just memes, wasn't it? Memes and going at people. arguing, wasn't it? Am I the only one wrong? Or that remembers that? Am I wrong? But always remember, we play by the rules. We'll get stuff done. We'll stop this stuff. And then laugh faces. Yeah, Donald Trump was never elected in the first place. That's a figment of my imagination. That or in 2016, people stormed the Capitol to force his election, right? Is that what happened? I mean, I do have a bad memory, so somebody help me out there. Am I the one in the wrong there? Hey, sorry.
The Russians stormed the internet, and that's how Trump won. Remember?
Oh man, but I'm not really going after the right now because I think they're dumb, and I think what they've done is absolutely hurt them, and I don't think they're going to realize how bad for a couple of weeks, at least, and then the smart ones will start to catch on. But the title of the stream is far more that clip we watched. That fucking shitbag, Dick Nose McGee there from Pennsylvania. That's the kind of stuff that I'm getting at. These are Democrats are bad people. I'm just going to say it. They're bad people. You don't have to go with me on that, and I understand why you wouldn't.
Oh, I mean, politicians are bad people in general. So by extension, I believe that Democrats are bad people.
And I can understand, that. But I'm meaning it even a lot further than just politicians, a lot of their people. And the reason I say that is because we've seen this kind of violence literally in Portland every night since Labor Day. Every night. And they were actually cheering for it. Mm-hmm. They were actually talking about how horrible the cops were for trying to stop it. Ted Wheeler neutered his police department so it could keep going on. But one day where the only person who was injured was somebody on the side who was doing the storming, suddenly this is the worst thing ever. This is the worst thing. This never happened since 1812, you guys.
What's really funny, too, is the narrative that I've been dealing with, that I've been struggling with the most, is people are saying that if those protesters were black, right?
Oh, yeah.
If those protesters were black, they would be dead. It would have been a massacre. Bodies would have just been flooding the streets, and the Capitol would have been bathed in black people blood. Like, that's the narrative, right?
Yeah.
Those exact same people, and I shit you not when I say those exact same people, are the same ones that are saying that black people never participated in the riots to begin with. It was all infiltrators, and they had never been involved. So I'm like, wait a minute. So we are to believe that black people never participated. It was never Black Lives Matter in any of the riots. It was always white infiltrators. But when the police beat the shit out of the white infiltrators that were starting all the riots, because that's who they had to be beaten up, because they were beating up rioters, somehow we still believe that black people were affected by that. I'm like, explain to me how exactly somebody who didn't participate in something was affected, getting beat, with the consequences.
I can actually help you with that. Because they tried to make it, oh my God, why are you attacking people who are standing up for Black lives? And originally they did throw in black people, but people started paying attention to the color of the skin of the people who were involved. Mm-hmm. And especially there in Portland. That was one honky crowd. You did see blacks, Latinos, and whites all together during the day when they were having the actual sit-in protest, nobody's breaking shit stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's almost like many of them grew up with when the streetlights come on, take your ass home. Mm-hmm. And they weren't the white kids.
Yeah, and they realized that, look, this is an optics thing going on, and too many of you motherfuckers are showing up in these pictures that are going around. So we need to, because even the pictures that were going, it's just white infiltrators, and it's like 80 black people running out of the Target with shit in their hands. And I'm like, wow, those are some strange looking whiteys.
Well, see, here's the problem with that is there was actually two separate things going on. There were BLM protests like that, which tended to be more in LA and New York, Chicago. And those are where you saw especially like the thefts of the shoe store. That one was so fucking retarded. That one was in Chicago, the video I'm thinking of. People coming out of a fucking shoe store with 10 boxes of shoes just stacked, and they took off running. By the way, they weren't all shot. But then when you have like over in Portland, like the Antifa side of things, Seattle, that group, they're largely white. They just are. It's not a BLM stronghold. It's a Antifa stronghold, and it's a different group of liberals. So there were two different narratives going on that kept getting a little bit overwhelmed or overlapping. And I said this many times that BLM was going to get blamed for a lot of the shit that Antifa actually did, and they did. Antifa knew it too, that BLM would be the ones who get the blame. So what the fuck did they care? It's almost as though they were using them for their own cause. But Satsu, what's got me irritated this evening? Because I mean, we talked about what happened earlier, but watching this guy, this fucking House member, get up there and pretend that nothing has happened. And the part that really gets me, and I've seen this over and over again, we saw it with people calling for the impeachment of impeach Trump now. Ilhan Omar, I'm drafting articles of impeachment for Trump right now. One, he's going to be out in 14 days. Shut the fuck up. But two, Donald Trump getting his base pissed off. All right. And let's say that's exactly what he did. He got them all riled up. He never called for violence once. In fact, he said against that. On the other side of the equation, you have people who say worse than anything Donald Trump has ever said. Far worse. Literally, that Donald Trump is a puppet of Putin, and he took over your government with illegal influence from a foreign body. It is an illegitimate government. Saying that didn't inspire any hatred, any violence. White officers are out there killing blacks left and right. That doesn't inspire any hatred, any violence.
Right. And dude, the tripped out part is I was on Twitter and him saying statements like, we were cheated. It was an unfair election. The people on the other side, they're bad people and they treat us poorly. They were like, those are definitive 100% statements of go kill people in the streets, destroy shit and burn stuff down. That's what those terms mean. But when he literally said the words, literally don't do that, then they're like, no, that's not what he meant. I'm like, so explicitly saying the words, don't be violent. Oh, that's dismissible. He really wants it. But him suggesting, hey, we were treated unfairly, but I will. that's like, go kill people, because that's what people are saying. Those words, saying that they were treated unfairly, is a literal incitement of violence. That is literally telling people go fuck shit up.
And as Nuts points out, Maxine Waters said that you need to get in Republicans' faces. You need to, wherever they're eating or working, you need to go get in their faces.
Yeah. Don't let them be comfortable. Remember that?
Don't let them be comfortable. Exactly. They have been doing this. And this is what I was trying to get at earlier, Satsu, and I don't know if I got it out well on Lords of the Night. But the media and the Democrats have set it up by the way that they've acted and the things that they have excused to tell people this is how you get things done. This is how you do it. You have to go out there and have a show of force. You have to go out there and show how many of us are all in agreement and do stupid shit and break shit, and excuses will be made for you. Them wringing their hands, them fucking wringing their hands over this dead woman. And I'm not happy she's dead, but she shouldn't have been there. Sorry. Them wringing their hands over this. I didn't hear a fucking one of them do it over the several people who were killed in Chaz/Chop.
Yeah. When I first heard about this, the first thing was said to me was, did you hear about those Trump supporters that went to the Capitol building and killed that lady? That's how the story was presented to me when I first heard about it. And I'm just like, No, I didn't hear about that. So they just went into the place and killed somebody. They're like, yeah, they went in and shot some lady, and there was no police resistance there, and it was all fucked up, and they just let these white people do whatever they want. But whenever black people protested or whatever, they would have killed them and all that shit. This is how I heard about it. So I went to go look, and I found out that the person who got shot was one of the Trump supporters who was trying to get in, and she was shot by a police officer. And I'm just like, immediately, dude, when I went back to the internet, not a single fucking word was said about this lady anymore.
Yep.
Like, that was it. Her life was completely forfeit at that point. People were like, oh, she was just one of them. Oh, then fuck her. I'm like, oh, damn.
Brick on a String says, what were her other options, Monk? Well, she could have stayed outside protesting like was legal. Like was scheduled. It wasn't a scheduled storm the Capitol. I'm fairly certain I never saw that anywhere. Evolved Potato, thank you. When you tell people it's okay to riot and break shit and it's a good thing and a moral thing, don't be surprised when it will happen against you.
Well, yeah, I actually recorded a video on this and I was talking about it. I don't know if I'm gonna upload it yet, but I had to vent and I recorded a video for it. But one of the things that I said is everything that you do that endorses some behavior that falls outside of the realm of what's just, what's legal and shit like that, that is an immediate invitation to the opposition to do that same thing. It is a direct invitation. You are telling the opposition and the people who you don't like and the people who you're fighting against, this is how we want to fight this battle. All legal shit goes out the window. All the voting for people you want, that shit is out of there. Debate and politics, fuck that shit. This is how we want to do it. And the moment you come out and say, I endorse this behavior, then you automatically endorse it for your opponents. I don't care if you feel differently. That's the reality of the situation.
Snubber, thank you. Riots are the language of the unheard, not you, though, or you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Massive said that he sent me something on Twitter, and I'm glad he did because I do want to pull this up because this is exactly what I'm fucking talking about. This is Ariana Presley. There needs to be unrest in the streets. Kamala Harris. Protesters should not let up. Maxine Waters. By the way, these are all quotes. If you see anybody from the cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gas station, you get out and create a crowd and you push back on them and you tell them they're not welcome anymore anywhere. And then the final one is Pelosi. I just don't know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be. Perfectly fine. Sorry, Ayana, not Ariana. Thank you, no one. This is exactly what they tell. This is why I said they have been telling people this is how you do it. And now they're shocked that they listened. Now they're shocked. And again, I disagree with what happened. But if we're going to place blame here, let's be honest about what fucking happened. This has been coming for a long, long time. Now, to the people who are like, what other options did they have? Once again, you tell me how Donald Trump got elected in the first place. Because I don't remember this shit at all.
Yeah, I don't remember none of this shit happening to get Trump into office.
In fact, I remember people making jokes for the last 4 years about how Democrats reacted when Trump won. Saying we wouldn't do this. We wouldn't riot in the streets. And I get it. Well, he didn't really win. Well, you have to prove that. And I get it that there's been people that have kept that from happening. That doesn't mean you get to just throw all the rules out. What you're doing, you're doing it wrong. But I understand that these shitbags who are trying to blame it on Donald Trump need to fuck right off. Why do they always make me defend him?
I don't know.
Donald Trump has incited violence. No, he hasn't. Not once. I have plenty of, we just had 4 examples of the left doing it. Some pretty powerful people as well. The Speaker of the fucking House, the next Vice President of the United States. They're allowed to go out there and actually advocate violence, actually incite it. And the press pats them on the back. Ayana said that we should go out and protest. And And Kamala, she said it's a good thing. We should keep protesting. And they keep pushing that narrative. How in fuck's name do you say the things Democrats have said over the last 4 years and then in any way feign upset over what happened yesterday? How do you pretend even a little bit that you're actually offended by that? I mean, without bursting into flame for being a fucking hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the word sedition and insurrection and treason thrown all over yesterday, man. All over. People chanting in the streets, fuck America, burning the American flag. That's just peaceful protesting. People saying they want to overthrow the government. That's just peaceful protesting. But these guys, that's just a little too far. By the way, there is one video. And you know what, guys? Do I have it where I can get to it? I think it was sent to me. I want to watch it, and you guys can make up your own mind on it. But when I saw it, I was like, ooh. Let me see if I can find it. Was it Andy No? I think it was Andy No. Let me check. Andy Nago. He needs to change his mind so I can read it properly. So I can read his fucking name. No, it wasn't him. Huh. Antifa was trending earlier. There was a video of people breaking into one of the windows. This one. There it is. And guys, I'm going to play it for you. I'll let you make your own mind up, and then I'll tell you what I think. Hopefully it's loud enough. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what that lady was yelling?
Mm-hmm.
Antifa, Antifa, Antifa. That's Antifa, not us. And I do want to point out something. This little billy club that he's hitting with, the way he's dressed, the sticker across the back of his head, that guy's Antifa. Now, that doesn't mean everybody in this crowd who's right up against the building who's not supposed to be there should have been there. Nobody should have been up against this building, guys. That cannot be stressed enough. However, that dude's Antifa. This guy right here, that's an Antifa guy. And if you've ever seen them break their windows before, yeah, you can. This guy is there's no question. You see somebody else with a red hat tackled him. That was not him going off on his merry way to join the crowd. Dr. Kiev says there's no evidence that Antifa was there. Look, it was well known. Antifa was putting out shit days ago saying they were going to infiltrate this to try to make Trumpers look bad. Here's the thing. The people who stormed that barricade weren't Antifa. They just weren't. Have you seen the actual video of the barricade being breached?
I've seen a couple videos. One video that people were showing made it look like the police just opened the gate for them and let them in. And then another video is like them literally brawling with the police at the line and yanking the gate back and forth. And you see pepper spray and shit going back and forth. What's funny, though, is every narrative I see of people talking about this are saying that they were met with zero resistance, that there were no cops out there, nobody anywhere to be seen, and they were just able to do whatever they want.
Now, I'm perfectly willing to believe that it was that even the worst antics were Antifa, but it wasn't just them. So let's not pretend that it was just them causing problems, because that whole crowd was not Antifa. That was a whole lot of patriots. thank you, Bob Potato, who says, I'm kind of skeptical that the way Trump got elected could happen again. I think you would agree that Trump had a lot of help through social media. With the heavy increase of censorship on them, I don't know if it could be done. Again, could be pessimism. I think it is pessimism. I will not bullshit you. I've told you guys this since the beginning. This has never been just about Donald Trump. It was about a Republican winning, especially beating Hillary Clinton. It didn't matter who won. Donald Trump has not helped himself, though. And what we need, if you guys really want change and you really want a way to do this without getting violent, there has to be change. And it can be done, and that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't. You're going to have to get in there and get involved with your state legislatures. Call your state representative and go, I want this voting shit fixed.
Yeah.
And if we don't do it, I'm going to vote your ass out.
Yeah, with the system we have, man, sometimes you're going to fight for what you believe in. You're going to do the stuff that you feel you need to do to get what you want, and you're going to lose. Yep. And sometimes the solution to fix that is not tomorrow or the next day or the next year. Sometimes it's 2 years away. But the way the system is built with the voting system and everything, and the fact that, you know, we do elect our officials and all that shit, like you have a chance to change that. But the moment you demonize your party or allow your party to be demonized by doing stupid shit like this, you lessen your chance of ever being able to solve it peacefully.
Helen says the very phonogenic Antifa dude with the Viking helmet has numerous photos taken with Pelosi's son-in-law. This is not unlike Antifa to do shit and be part of something like this. And yeah, they're going to take advantage. But if nobody had stormed that, they couldn't have done that.
Yeah. Did you see that dude? The dude with the tattoos or whatever? Somebody had shared like a page where, because apparently he's like an actor or something like that. Yeah, I'll have to find it or whatever. But they had like all of his credentials and stuff on there, and the type of acting that he does or specializes in. I'm just like, huh, that's interesting.
Pat says, like Monkey said, this is all about the media telling people to vote for Hillary, and that didn't happen. Yeah. It was her turn. It was her turn. Nobody was more upset than the media that she lost. Look at their faces. Look at that Rachel Maddow thing from the day after that. This isn't a dream. This is real. This is your country. She is devastated. Absolutely devastated. And of course, the mother of them all watched the clips of TYT from 2016 because that was amazing. I do have a question for you guys, and I'm not meaning to be mean here, but I am very curious. What goal did you achieve tonight? For those of you like, this is all we can do. What did you achieve? I'm very curious what you think happened here in a good way. Because I see no good from this. Whether you're talking optics or just don't be a shitbag or you're acting like them, what was it that was gained? By the way, the votes were certified. Biden will be your next president.
Yeah, I mean it's not an unfair question, because I was asking the same thing. Like, if you're going to put forth the argument that this was the way to go, like this was what they should have did, and they were left with no choice, then I want to know, like, well, where are the spoils? Like, what?
Yeah.
What did we win?
What did you gain? I'm asking genuinely here. I'm trying to put away all my anger at what I saw there and stop being rude and have an actual conversation. What was gained? Seriously. And Talik says, yeah, which means cheating anything has no consequences. Cheating happens all the time.
Yeah. Cheating happens. Look, dude, in the political world, there are very few candidates who are elected, off some completely 100% legitimate shit. There is all kinds of bullshit going on behind the scenes all the time. Just like that's mostly why they tell you, like, politicians, the nice guys finish last. When it comes to politics, for the most part, like, if you ain't willing to get your hands dirty, you probably not gonna win.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
Satsu,
Always
check your
works that way.
Streamlabs, my friend.
Okay.
Good morning, Prospero. How are you, sweetheart? You big mad or little mad, monkey? I'm annoyed. But seriously, so many people have been telling me, you know, that there's nothing. I mean, what else can you do? Okay, what'd you gain? Eagle says, if it wasn't this, it would have been something else to demonize. Okay, fine. What did you gain? No other bullshit. I'm not asking for any other bullshit. I want to know what was gained.
Let's see. Oh, thank you, Frank. I don't condone any riot, though. If you honestly believe the system is rigged, your vote is meaningless, then how do you change it? Also, to what was said in Lords of the Night, yeah, they were saying the right doesn't write because they have riot. I think that's what he meant, because they have jobs. But now a lot can't work. Are you saying their recent open availability is what gave them the opportunity to go riot? And Frank, again, there were a lot of photos of people in MAGA stuff with hammer and sickle tattoos. Yeah, I saw that too.
Yep.
Though MAGA people who went along with it are just as much of a piece of shit. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's
real quick. I do want to address this in chat.
Yep.
I saw a suit says, I just fucking told you. So I scroll back up to see what was said before that. Maybe a lot gained by Antifa infiltrators. Wake the fuck up. Once again, that whole crowd was not Antifa. The majority of those people that were up there were not Antifa. They shouldn't have been up there. They should have been down where they were supposed to be protesting.
Yeah. And if they did do that, if all the people kept themselves separated, knew who they came with, and allowed Antifa alone to enter and infiltrate that building, they wouldn't have did nearly as much damage as they did. It would have made them basically look stupid. And knowing them, they probably would have backed off, because they would have like, abort mission. They're not joining us.
Yeah, but what they would have, the Antifa guys would have started shit on the street then. Buster's Outlaw, thank you. Nothing we do will be right because we aren't Dems. Here's the thing. It sucks when you have to be the better person, especially when you know the other side is full of shit. But that doesn't mean you become them.
Yeah, and I don't believe that narrative, because Trump won legitimately without all the bullshit and stuff set up. You didn't have to go riot and all that bullshit. Like, he won. And all the Republican presidents that came before there, like, they were voted in. And there were times when you guys had the majority and they didn't. It didn't always take a revolution to get that shit.
Say that at fucking Berkeley, you fucks. Say what? About the Antifa shitheads? I'm asking specifically what the right gained by today.
And
what
nobody seems to be answering that question. I hear a whole bunch of statements that ain't got nothing to do with the answer to that actual question. There's a lot of shit being said that ain't the answer to that question. I just want to hear it. If you have something legitimate, like, I'm gonna be like, oh well.
Well, here, let me give you guys an example. Here would be an example of a win you might have been able to get out of this. That, hey, now other people are going to see this and they'll rise up and our movement will finally take hold. Is that what you think?
That's a reason.
That would be a reason. I would disagree with it. I think you're, what's the word? Naive. But I mean, at least that would be a fucking reason. That would be some gain that you could see coming out of it. The fact that I'm the one that had to come up with that really scares the shit out of me. I mean, playing devil's escalation to an actual civil war monkey. I mean, again, the most you'd be talking about this civil war. Let's discuss that for a second. Once again, you're not talking about a civil war. You're talking about people shooting each other. I'm on the left, you're on the right, bang. I'm on the right, you're on the left, bang. That's not civil war. That's just violence in the streets. That's not going to be a popular fucking uprising. Oh, Eagle giving me the finger. What? You're the one that likes it? Why? Is it just to see the shit happen? Or is there an actual goal here? Nothing, literally nothing changed. The outcome of the election is exactly the same. The Democrats still hold the House and the Senate. The Democrats are still going to keep from investigating any possible election fraud on the federal level. What was gained? Cavasar of old, thank you. We can't do what Antifa does. We do not have lawyers set up to defend us in court or bail funds MEs. Nothing was gained today. Graham was right. Don't forget, also, if you're on the left and you end up in some kind of legal trouble for rioting, it's perfectly okay to set up a GoFundMe. Don't do it on the right because they will cancel it in a heartbeat. But anyway, yeah. The left are a bunch of shitbags, guys. And becoming them is not the right answer, in my opinion. Do you? Fuck it. I don't care. I'll be dead before long anyway. And hopefully that's the next like 60 years. But I'm talking on a, long scale,
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I just want all this crazy shit to end.
Buster,
for us not to be here.
Buster's right. Protests don't work. Talking doesn't work. We have to take over everything from schools to lawyers. Talking does work. Talking was having an impact, and that's kind of what I'm getting at by talking about 2016. Donald Trump was never even supposed to make it to the primary. He wasn't supposed to make it to the primary. They pronounced him dead on arrival because he said Mexicans were rapists and murderers. And he made it all the way to the presidency.
By talking. He didn't have an army of people flooding the streets. Y'all didn't have to storm the Capitol.
There is some truth to what somebody said earlier about social media has changed the rules.
Yeah, definitely.
And true.
Definitely.
But you can still play within their rules.
Yeah.
So far, they haven't shut us out completely. I fuck with liberals constantly. It's like half of what I do on Twitter. Literally. Just fuck with them. Call them out on their bullshit. Now, there are things that you can't do that on. You can't question trans stuff at all because they'll kick you off immediately. But otherwise, you can fuck with pretty much anybody on what they're saying as long as you do it within the rules. I don't like the rules any more than you do because they're one-sided as fuck. Trust me. I've been... there are very few people that I know personally, Satsu, that have gotten in more trouble than me on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
That's just... I'm not bragging. It's just true because half of the ones I was like, fuck, I'm in trouble for that. It's not like I was going out of my way to get in trouble. So, but believe me, I understand what happens over there. And yet there I am still. Here I am here.
For me, just to try to simplify it the best way I can so that people can really understand where I'm coming from, because I don't just hold this viewpoint when it comes to this. I actually hold this viewpoint when it comes to a whole bunch of stuff. To put it in a more contextual situation, when I was with my ex, me and her broke up because she kept accusing me of cheating on her. Not a single time did I think to myself, you know, it'd be the good thing to do. I should actually cheat on her because fuck it. She's accusing me of doing it anyway. So why not? Might as well just do it. Like, I just broke up with her because I'm like, I don't even want to deal with that shit. Like, you're being ridiculous. And any time, if somebody accused me of doing something in school or in person, or if my mom was accusing me of stuff that I wasn't doing or whatever, never was the solution for me. Like, it never crossed my mind to be like, well, they said it, so got to do it. Like,
real quick, I did miss a super chat. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Johnny Hellcat, all this chaos and nothing about masks. Well, there is that too.
Yeah. Well, no, nobody care about masks.
But who was it that pointed that out to me? Thank you. I missed who told me. That's how good my fucking memory is. I want to go back to something real fast, Satsu. All right. Okay.
Mhm.
So somebody in chat, a suit, was talking about how Antifa had infiltrated and they were breaking windows and stuff. True. I said when we first watched this video that this jackass that's hitting the window, that's an Antifa member. Unquestionably. I would bet my fucking life on it. You know who's not? The lady you hear screaming, Antifa. You know where she's not? Way down where the original barricade was. I don't think all these people here, that this whole crowd we see is Antifa. I think that one guy is. I think the people cheering right there, I don't think a single fucking one of them's Antifa. All of them are up there, though. All of them are past the police barricades. This is one of the things that Donald Trump said. We are the party of law and order.
Yep. Respect the people in blue. Don't make us look fucking bad. And y'all was just like, fuck that. We're going to make ourselves look as bad as possible because that's the solution.
Again, if it wasn't for this whole crowd being up there, that one Antifa guy beating on the window would have meant shit.
Yeah, he'd have just been a dumbass beating on the window by himself.
Is that a dude trying to beat the window in?
What the fuck is he doing over there? I'm just saying, and this made me unpopular in high school too. This was a thing that really made me very unpopular in high school because I was that motherfucker who did not fuck with people who did shit that could get me in trouble. Like, yeah. I stayed as far away from them as possible. Whenever some shit went down and the authorities showed up and they like, you know these guys? I'm like, nope, never seen them before in my life. And people used to be like, oh man, you ain't supposed to do that to the homies. I'm like, fuck y'all. Y'all out here doing stupid shit. I'm distancing myself as far away. So I wasn't that motherfucker like, oh look, people are doing dumb shit around me. Might as well join in. Fuck it. Like, no, dude. When it'd be like this. We'd be out somewhere, everybody's having a good time, and somebody's starting to get a little stupid. Like, I'm gonna leave. Yeah.
You guys have fun. And then I'd go home, and the next day I'd hear about them getting in trouble.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm gonna leave y'all till you're stupid. I'll be over here. Not
like I said, that shit didn't make me popular then, and I'm sure people still don't like it now. But
it's why I'm not popular with any political party completely. Yeah, because stupid is stupid, and I'm not going to save it because it happens to be with a ideology I agree with. Kevin Sarbold, the weird thing is, I seem to remember Trump calling out the 2016 election for fraud, even though he won. Am I wrong? No, you're not wrong.
No, you're not.
Look, in all seriousness, if you guys want to end what you saw in 2020, which, by the way, I think weird shit happened. I don't know if it was enough to change the election. It's enough that I think there should be some severe investigations going on. Like, how exactly did that happen? I need to know an exact time frame of how the fuck 146,000 votes came in and 94% went to one candidate. I don't care which candidate got that. That's a bullshit number. You need to explain to me how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
That was in Wisconsin. Yeah, but if you're sincere about getting changes and stuff, what you need to do is stop paying attention to who the president is. No, president. Yeah, stop paying attention to who the president is. You need to start working on your state house, your state senate, or your assembly, if they're called that in your state. Those are the people you need to go after, not in a physical way, but I want this looked at, I want this changed, or we're going to kick you the fuck out of your job.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it happens, because elections are handled on a state level. The fact that it gets certified in Congress, that's window dressing. It is the constitutional way, but everything that happens until that point is handled by the states. That's where your activities should be. That's where your focus should be. How many of you guys even know who your state representative is?
Yeah, we talked about this before. You remember that rap video that I shared with you guys a while ago where that dude he was talking to black people specifically, telling them like y'all been focusing on the wrong thing this whole time. And he specifically and explicitly said that it is the people you follow, it is the politicians The very same people who you don't even really know, like what their power and position is, are the ones telling you the president is the only problem. The president is the reason that you're dealing with all this stuff. I can't fucking give you guys what you want because the president is holding us back. And they stay in these positions forever because all the people who know better are out there voting. And all these people in your states, they're getting all the shit that they want because they know that y'all are too stupid. And not you guys are too stupid, but like people who literally don't pay attention to the state reps and the people who are actually running the show for the most part. What's going on in your state? Just like with the closures and stuff, everybody was like, Trump's responsible for this, and Trump should be the one speaking out and telling people to close. I'm like, Trump ain't got the power to do that. Every state regulation that's going on in your place to keep you in wherever you're at, they ain't got nothing to do with Trump. Trump didn't make that call.
Suit FKR says this. He's mocking me, by the way. I'll just sit on my comp live streaming doing shit all but Tim pooling and go dur. You guys really are useless mouth breathers. Your apathy shits me to tears. Okay. I'm sitting here dur-dur-during. You're sitting here listening, living vicariously through other people.
Exactly.
You weren't even fucking there, bitch.
What the fuck are you? Were you at the revolution? Were you there storming the fort? No. So shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah, because if you can't have been there because you already told us it was all Antifa.
Yeah.
So
like, what the fuck are you doing? Shut the fuck up. Yes.
Dude, you might want to make
We're sitting here talking and having the conversation. That's true. That is very true. But stop it, please.
You might want to think things through a little bit more.
Yes, like
well, potato, thank you. It's like magic. Everyone looks to the top at the Fed, while all the tricks, all the fuckery happens in the States. It is. See, I've talked about this before too. We need to take the emphasis on the president. He's been given way too much power, way more than the president was ever supposed to have.
Oh yeah, that's for damn sure.
But the bigger part there is that what the president does really doesn't affect you nearly as much as what happens in your state. Suit says, I'm in Australia, you fucking tools. Then what the fuck are you talking about, bitch?
Dude, he is making himself sound significantly more dumb every time he talks. Like, I have absolutely nothing to do with this. Like, oh, so you're even more irrelevant than I thought. Thanks.
I'm sorry. I know about Australia's governments and the shit that's gone on with you guys. If your argument is that I should be doing more, what the fuck are you letting happen in your country, pussy?
Yeah, for your information, I don't even live there. I have no stake in this at all. But for whatever reason, my opinion matters.
Ebony says, another troll or genuine? Yes. I don't even live there. Shut the fuck up.
Well, what was funny is that was his retort to us saying that what he's saying does not matter. It's like, oh, well, for your information, I'm not even there. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, y'all might want to clean up your shit before you tell me about mine, especially if you're going to be... Hey, tell me about those guns you can't own, bitch. Anyhow. Look, I'm positive on the Aussies, but fuck right off. I know... I do keep up with some international politics. Oh, man. Anyway. I love these kind of people. I really do. And look, if you're in the United States and disagree with me, that's fine. But at least you have a stake in it. You're just sitting back there. Yeah, Pete, that's one of yours, man. And I feel sorry for you. That's one of yours.
Oh man, look, I don't really like fucking, but just like. Don't speak out of turn and then announce further that you're like, just so you know, I am absolutely speaking out of turn.
Right. He went from a bad argument to a worse one and thought it was a win.
Yeah.
You showed me.
Well, at least he tried. That was a pretty decent effort, I guess.
Dangerous says, seriously, Monk, if Biden empowers China, whose doorstep are they fucking on? Well, they're not going to come down there and try to overtake you guys. Before they ever did that, they would try to hit us with a nuke, which, I mean, by then you guys are fucked anyway. So relax about China. They're just trying to piss you guys off. Even with that, if you're going to talk like he is, you better have your ass on a boat ready to storm the Capitol building. You're just talking. You're literally just listening.
From Australia.
Shut up, bitch.
Like, ain't nothing that's happening here even involving you, but yet you're just like, I'm gonna spend my actual time sitting and listening to this, and then bitch at the people who are talking, telling them like they're not doing anything.
I feel like this should be a hash potato skit.
Yeah, dude. So, I think somebody was talking about the fact that streamers, like just gamers, people who play games and they stream it. He was like, "You guys are fucking worthless. What do you do other than sit and play a game?" And he said it in a chat, and he was like, "Well, who's more worthless? The person sitting here playing the game, entertaining people, and actually making a profit, or the person sitting on their couch watching said person do it and accomplishing nothing?"
Who's more foolish, the fool or the fools who follow?
Just like what? I just some people.
Oh man, that's insane. Pete, thank you for that very, very generous donation with a simple LOL. Dude, it makes me feel better about the dumb people in America knowing you guys got them too.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
That actually made my night.
My stream lamp is being weird.
Don't forget, guys, we are brought to you by you. What I've been yelling at the audience all night. Let me shill to them. We're brought to you by you. Hit that like button. Hit the share button if you would. And if you don't mind, if you have some and are entertained by the show, toss a dime in the hat for either me or Satsu. I don't have Satsu's link down below. Can somebody throw that in the chat for me? I'm sure if it's been going around that yours has been included because.
Well, somebody donated to me earlier. Frank did. So
yeah, Nuts has been dropping yours. There it is. She's good at doing that. She's a sweetheart. That's why she gets special attention on my shows. That and she puts up with all my shit, and she even watches my game shows. So
yeah, at the end of the day, I'm just kind of fed up in general, with all this shit. I'd like for people
real quick. I just want to point out, I said special attention, not special treatment. That's different.
Right.
Okay, you were saying.
Like, I just want this shit to really, I want people to be able to engage in civil discourse again. I would like for the people who are perpetuating and holding up or corrupting these systems that are supposed to be making America. I'm wishing that they would just go the fuck away.
Good night, Dom. Man, I just wish we could return to I can't believe I'm using these words, a more civil time. And I will be honest, I blame the left for the way this keeps increasing because they've been getting away with it and not being called out for it. I mean, literally, Ted Wheeler on January 2nd came out to talk about the violence the night before and how unnecessary it was.
Yeah.
When these Antifa shitheads were attacking the federal courthouse, which they had done literally every night for 2 months.
Two straight months.
Full months back in the summer. And he didn't have fuck all to say about them stopping.
Nope.
Not once.
Nope. And as a matter of fact, when that whole situation was happening, like we mentioned before, the statement that he did put out was literally don't burn people alive in a building because it'll make the opposition look good.
Oh, and in that one there, that was actually after the federal stuff had died down and they finally moved on to other places and they moved over to a residential area where there's a little police precinct and they tried blocking the doors and lighting it on fire with people inside.
Yeah.
And he comes out and says, don't do that. And this part cannot be downplayed enough. or cannot be mentioned enough. My bad. He didn't say it because burning people alive was wrong. He said it because it was helping Donald Trump. That's a true fucking thing.
Yeah. And that's significantly worse than, let me check my notes here, burning people alive.
So, yeah, look, the left has been escalating this shit over and over, and the media has helped them with this. This is why I spend so much time on the media, you guys, because they really are our biggest problem.
Yeah, the media is amplifying all of the negative things, all the fucked up shit that's been going on or whatever. The media has been amplifying this shit to a crazy degree. The media and a lot of these social media networks, they're working in tandem to make the problems that we're dealing with much worse than they could have ever been without their actual input. Because if they were just doing their jobs and providing everybody with the information needed in order to, tackle these situations or talk about these stories, this would have never gotten this far. Never.
Gamer, thank you. The party that stormed the Capitol chose to not bring the guns. That guy was too young to know about their last war, the one against flightless birds. They don't like to talk about that one, Gamer Colleen. The Great Emu War. But thank you for the donation. Look, let's say you're upset about the election, okay? You're upset that the election, that there's not more going on with looking into the election irregularities. Yes, by all means, blame your representatives, both state and federal. Blame the judges who refuse to hear cases and release that or dismiss them on moronic grounds. Blame the Supreme Court who refused to hear at least 2 valid arguments that should have been heard, and probably at least one that would have should have been upheld. Blame all of them, but you know who you really need to turn your eye to? Our press. Because if they were doing their job, they'd be digging into that shit. There would be no question. There would be no widespread fraud. There'd be, hey, this is the fraud we found. This is what we didn't find.
Yeah.
That would be it. No, but instead, we do not have a media. We have a whole group. We do not have actual news media. We have a whole group of people who are just giving their opinion with a biased slant. And that's what it is. These are the same people who deny the violence that's been going on all summer. The same ones who will sit there and cheer things like when some dumbass says, Black people are the only ones who get shot when they don't move or for moving and didn't have anything. When there's actual video of this happening to people. Daniel Shaver, that is a hard fucking video to watch. And that's not the only one. There's at least 2 videos like that of just them being murdered by police right in front of you when they're on their knees, for fuck's sake. They're no threat to anybody and killed. Those didn't get a whole bunch of media attention.
Yeah.
And instead of pointing out, hey, maybe there's a training problem in the police that needs addressed, they're like, oh, it's racist.
Yeah.
Doing 2 things. Perpetuating the idea that the police are horribly racist and therefore we just need to stop police from ever policing Black people. And 2, sowing distrust between Black people and the police.
Yeah. And the tripped out part is like, the narrative is, people are trying to compare people going out there fighting for people getting killed by the police and trying to compare it to this. And I'm like, they weren't fighting for people to stop getting killed by the police. They were fighting for Black people to stop getting killed by the police. They don't give a fuck about other humans dying by the police. They don't give a shit. They don't care at all. They when that stuff happens, there are no stories. Nobody really talks about it, and it gets swept under the rug instantly. They don't get no memorials. They don't hold no fucking rallies. None of that shit. They just die, and people are like, "Oh damn." Yep. And just forget it ever happened.
Well, half the time they don't even know. Real quick, Killer Turnus, or is that? Yeah, it's an R and an N. I couldn't tell if it was an R and an N or an M, so it was either Killer Turnus or Killer Tumus. I'm just calling you Killer. My mom called me and said that they killed a senator. Media lies hard. With the original things going on today, I'm not surprised that was said. And Mighty Balzac says, hey, the Emu War was a draw, not a loss. If you have a draw with emus, it was a loss. They're birds that can't fly. Y'all ever heard of guns?
They can kick really hard, though.
Not if you shoot them from far enough away. I'm just saying. Yeah, the media is our biggest enemy. And I know we're not supposed to say that. I know we're not supposed to say the media is the enemy of the people. The media is the enemy of truth. Because they only care about truth if it's beneficial to them. Otherwise, they will make it as true as they need to. Hands up, don't shoot.
And that's generally speaking the media as a whole. Like I feel a slightly less disdain for like local and international media because they tend to generally stay on point when they're telling stories or narratives or whatever, explaining what happened. If you look at local small news stations and international news stations, they tend to generally be on point. But CNN.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at what Gamer Valine just said. Thank you for the donation. She said, there's a short documentary on it. The emus shot first. Yes. Anyway, from what I've seen of local news, at least my local news, all they do is parrot whatever the national news is saying. So maybe there's a little bit more because we did see, at least in some cases, like in Portland, the Oregonian, their local newspaper, which is tilted left, they were just showing what happened and telling the stories. They really were. They did a really good job with it. That's the reason we know that the federal building, when they first attacked that was them. They broke in and tried setting the fucker on fire.
Yeah.
That's what started the whole thing. And the Oregonian caught it on camera and put it up on their website.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not all the time. Like, they're not like not every single one is good or whatever. But most of the time, when I go to a story or whatever, because what I've actually started doing is whenever I hear about a story happening that seems to be more of a domestic thing, I look specifically for the local one so I can actually get the story. Yeah.
Lancelot, thank you. Off topic, but anyone remember the magic disappearing laptop that was important for like a week? Twitter prefers us not to talk about that.
Yeah. Twitter won't allow you to talk about things that about information that might be stolen unless it's, Trump's taxes or literally anything else that's convenient to their narrative. But
yeah, and as for international news, I don't trust any of them because from my reading, at least the last year, it is basically whatever I'm reading on CNN. Basically, whatever I see. Yeah, right there. Hayden just said it. They're basically puppets of NYT, Washington Post, and CNN. I think he was talking more about the local, but definitely international. They just get their stories from them. Whatever our press says about Donald Trump is what you're going to see in the international news. And it's a disgrace the way our press is handling themselves. If you really want to know who's to blame for what's going on in America right now, it is our press.
And like, there's a cynical part of me that hopes that Biden capitalizes on that. Like, he's really just like, well, they're on my side, so I can do and pretty much say whatever I want and just make fools out of them at every turn so they can be like, wait a minute, like.
He's already done that.
Yeah.
Seriously, there was a story that came out from the AP. Well, it wasn't in the AP, but the AP was the one involved. But Biden has been having a weekly teleconference, and he invites the news media to come there. And every week, he only asks the same 3 or 4 people questions. It's CNN, the New York Times, I want to say the Washington Post, and I forget who the other one was. But those are the only people who've been allowed to ask questions. And even the AP is getting to the point, they're like, could you please start asking other people questions? These people who like, Donald Trump's a shitbag. The ones who complained he would only talk to them at the helicopter. He was talking to you, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Mighty Balzac, thank you. When the Wombat War breaks, we're all fucked. Indeed. What about them feral cats, man? These are the same people who complain that Donald Trump wasn't holding his briefings anymore, at the same time who complained that he was only talking to them as he went to the helicopter daily. Yeah. Your press are the government. It's no coincidence that the governor of New York is the brother of one of CNN's most recognized anchors. Yeah.
Hold on. I need to log into my other Streamlabs real quick.
Yeah, dude.
I think I might be missing stuff.
That's a good time to remind people we're brought to you by you. Hit that like button, hit that share button. And remember, we are internet depressed, and the only cure for that is give me money.
I don't
I
know.
like to be subtle.
That.
Just kidding. If you guys enjoy the show, please do consider a donation to me or Satsu. And Nuts, thank you so much for dropping our link, sweetheart. And as always, thank you to everybody who does that, because she can't always be here. Sometimes Jack does it for us. Sometimes Della Hayes, Prospero, Becca. There's tons of people who do it. You guys are great because we never ask them to. They're just kind enough to do it. And thank you guys for that.
Okay, yeah, this is weird. Thank you, Pete, for the donation. But for some reason, because my phone vibrated, and I'm like, I looked at my phone, and I'm like, okay, there's a donation. So I looked at Streamlabs, and I'm like, bro, why you ain't telling me about this?
I had that the other night. Tall person donated. He's like, did you get my donation? I'm like, no. So I went over to Streamlabs, and I refreshed probably for, 2 minutes, guys? And then it finally popped up. And when it popped up, it told me that it came through at the exact time that I read it. I was like,
I refreshed this page like 4 times, and yeah, it still says the last donation was 44 minutes ago from Frank. So that
I wouldn't have donated if I knew you were going to talk shit about my country, fucking assholes. Well, a couple of things, Pete. I know that's not true because I work for you at this point, and we all know that.
And second, I didn't say anything bad about your country. I talked about the asshole who was from it. That's all. I made sure I kept it specifically about him. I didn't say anything about you.
I real quick, thank you, Brick on a String, who says for ammo. I appreciate that. Your country's not perfect. You know that. I know that. You're better off than Canada, but not by a whole lot. We're headed that way. We're straight downhill slope to seeing which one of Britain's bastard children can be the worst quickest. All the Australian money Monk is missing. Stop it. Monkey needs ramen. Damn it. That's true. I haven't had ramen in a few weeks.
Man, I made Aaliyah some miso ramen the other day, and she loves that shit. Because I had bought some a while back, just like miso flavored ramen, and I only ate a few of them because I liked them too. But the packaging and shit is so fancy, and it looks so. I didn't want to eat them all at once, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hold off. So I was like, this is all I got. So I made her that, and I'm like, I wonder if she'll like this. Like miso ain't something that we have over here that's like openly available, at least not to me. And I was like, I hope she likes it, man. She fucked that shit. I was like, slow down.
Danger says the press so often will literally say, we won, we did this, we got elected. The press are the Dems. How many have worked for the party? Well, I was thinking about this the other day. There's a lot of talk, when it comes to people in government, how they get out of government and then they go work for some kind of lobbying firm, They're like, they shouldn't do this. But nobody has a problem with them going to work for the press. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That to me seems rather ridiculous. Pine Tree says, well, Australia has more personal freedom than the U.S. given by the Cato Institute, or even given by the Cato Institute. I'd have to read Cato saying that. I don't doubt that they did, but I have to read their bullshit explanation. So, more personal. I'd seriously be curious to know how they justify that stance.
Because we tell everybody to think that, and they agree. Because if they don't, there might be some problems.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. That's just not true. I'm not happy for my Australian friends for that. I wish they were as free as we are. Maybe they meant because some of them live in the outback and can't be counted, so they can do whatever they want. I don't know. Fucker probably watched Crocodile Dundee and went, yeah, they're more free than we are.
Oh my God. Okay, I got another donation. Thank you very much for that. It was a $10 donation, but I don't want to say the name on my PayPal because typically the PayPal name is people's actual name.
Oh, fair enough.
But I still can't see anything in Streamlabs. So FYI, guys, I have this open so I can see when donations come in, but unfortunately, I can't see your messages because Streamlabs won't show them to me.
All right, just to make sure. Oh, which Streamlabs are you using?
I logged into both of them, and the other one, my gaming one or whatever, there's nothing there. So hold on,
because Nuts has been putting the 2 cents plus one.
Okay, well let me check my Twitch one then. We'll check Twitch and see if
you need to get just one. Damn it!
Well, that was the goal. Like that was the goal, is to only have one. But
get rid of the others.
I don't know how.
What do you mean you don't know how? Deactivate the fucker.
Here, hold on. All right, so this is Twitch. There's nothing here on Twitch. Let me log out here.
All right. Specifically, she's been linking 2 cents plus / V2 / tip.
Yeah, that's the one that I shared earlier.
Okay, so that's the one it should be going to.
Yeah.
And Nuts, you're fine. Look, sweetie, even if you were putting up one that he wasn't wanting you to, he's got too many to begin with. Fuck him. That's his fault.
Wow.
What? I just meant in that instance, not altogether.
WOW. Exclamation point. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is weird. I didn't intend to have this many, by the way. Like this wasn't
making them
purpose. It was just like they needed to be separate for like tax purposes. Because I wasn't gonna use the same one I was using for my main channel, for my gaming channel. Because those are like there was a time when those were two different audiences. Yeah, no matter which one I log on to, these new ones aren't showing up. So,
so he's not ignoring you guys. It's just not showing up.
Yeah, but I do see that I got my phone here, and it does give me the PayPal notifications. But I don't want to say the names of these people because these are probably your actual names. So, thank you. I appreciate you. But Streamlabs is stupid.
Yeah, according to this, I brought up the Cato thing to see what the hell he's talking about, and I'm gonna have to dig into it more. But real quick, Evolve Potato, thank you. Our courts have literally said that we don't have the freedom to leave our houses because it would restrict the government's rights to make legislation. We don't have rights because it restricts the governments from making laws restricting them. That's asinine. Holy shit! Is that real in your country? Fuck. But yes, they have Australia at an 8.68 and America at an 8.44. Let's see. Rule of law. No. Security and safety. The only way you can have security and safety be higher is if you think having more gun control makes you safer. Movement, that should be a push because you can go anywhere in either country. Religion, you can have any religion you want in the U.S. Association, assembly, and civil society. Again, civil society, you have to define that a little more. Association and assembly, that is literally enshrined in our Bill of Rights. Expression and information. They have the Australia. You're one of those guys who have free expression, right? But not free speech. And even your expression can be withheld. I always remember the quote, there are lies, damn lies, and statistics. Indeed. Identity and relationships. What the fuck does that even mean? Size of government. Okay, you might have us on that one. Legal system and property rights. I don't know how yours works, so I can't do that. Access to sound money. Come on. Freedom to trade internationally. And regulation of credit, labor, and business. Yeah. That's, yeah. I'm going to have to say no. Sorry. They're full of shit. We're tied for 17th place behind New Zealand, Switzerland, Hong Kong, Denmark, Australia, Canada, Ireland, Estonia, Germany, and Sweden. Selected countries, Japan is 11th. So, yeah, bullshit. Just bullshit. I'm trying to see which ones they're going to say. Let's see, personal freedom. They have us at an 8.4 and Australia at an 8.6. I'm going to need that explained. I'm going to need that explained. And they don't actually explain why they chose that for each country. Yeah. Cato's been getting a little funky lately. But hey, if you got to be second to a country, at least it's Australia. But us behind Estonia and behind Hong Kong in human freedom. For real.
Let that one sink in.
And then consider your sources and what they say. Gamer Lane, thank you. Aussies are nice to look at. Well, there you go. Cato is one of the most right-leaning organizations. No, Cato's not right-leaning. Cato is libertarian-leaning. Again, know your sources, dude. You're not wrong with what they said. I just think, all right, you've seen what's come out of Hong Kong, right? Look up section 118C, Monk. Free speech in Australia is theoretical, but not really reality. Well, even England is thinking about actually putting into law free speech. They'd be one of the only other countries to actually have free speech enshrined in their law, because everybody else, free expression. But the actual free speech, written and spoken word, free to do what you want, as long as you're not inciting violence. But even then, they have some other caveats they threw in. Except if you upset us in other ways. Guys, I need to wrap up. We've been doing this for 2 hours now, and I really want to go play more 7 Days to Die. Satsu, I got a problem, man.
This is news to who?
I died twice tonight, man.
I saw one of them, if I remember correctly. And I was in your chat, and I was just like, you are a lucky son of a bitch. That dog should have fucking killed you, and you were super lucky you got that headshot, and it killed him in one shot.
That was the one that was my second death, and that was the one. Was that my second death? Yeah. And I knew I was going to die, but I was like, I need to get that quest finished. As long as I finish the quest, if I die after that, at least it still counts as being completed.
Yeah, but you were sitting on like 2 health, and you're like, oh, it just hit nighttime, and all the zombies move faster at night. I can try to take on 2 with no health. I'm like, what?
Look,
he's just asking for it at this point.
I almost did it. If I had just that much more stamina, I would have done it.
You ran completely. I could hear you pressing the button. I'm like, oh, you fuck.
Like, come on. Sometimes you get lucky and it kicks in right before, you know?
Like you were flubbernucked. Oh my god. Sir.
Well, at that point, I didn't have the stamina to run. All I could do was hope. I probably should have switched to my knife. I probably could have got a shot in with that real fast.
She was the mess I put in there. You didn't see it, but I said she was eating that booty like groceries.
Oh, she was. That was horrible, but that was a fun death because that was one like I decided we're gonna see what happens. The other death I had was just stupid.
What? I didn't see the other one. What happened?
what exactly was that death, guys? I don't remember, but it was me. I did something stupid. And oh, I fucking got cut by a bird and I wasn't carrying bandages. I'm living in the desert. I bled out. If I'd have had a bandage, I'd have lived. And how many times have we had that scenario to the point that I make sure we have a shit ton of bandages over on the other server?
Mm-hmm.
I always keep and yep, that one pissed me off because that was just me being stupid. That was a noob move, and I knew better. The other one was a choice.
Yeah, you basically was like, all right, I finished the mission. Let's see if I can make this happen. And I'm just like, you can't, but you tried.
I could have. If that one bitch wouldn't have ran at me, I could have done it. That forced me to use my stamina quicker than I wanted to.
Dude, that entire scenario, everything about it was just like, you're not gonna live.
I made it all the way to that last bitch, and most of that with less than like 15 health. So
there was 2 zombies still. That one that you knocked on the floor, he wasn't dead. He was getting up when that chick killed you.
No, he was dead. I killed him.
Did you kill him?
Yeah.
I swear I thought he was getting up for it.
When I came back, he was dead. I saw it that time, but yeah, even when I came back, she was the only one in there. Picked up my shit and beat that bitch to death with a stick.
That's okay. I'm already full. You can kill me now.
Yeah. Look, I got what I wanted, so fuck it. Yeah, that fucking dog. The first time I went in that house where that dog was, it was just a zombie, so I never even thought that they'd stick a fucking dog back there. But it's me, so I should have.
Yeah, I'm just like, I can't think of anybody that would, in not a panic, use a blunderbuss against a dog.
It's the only gun I had. Dude, I'm on day 7, and I still have not found anything but a blunderbuss. I bought one. Finally, after Horde Night, I went and bought the double barrel, but I haven't found a single fucking gun. Not even a level 1 pistol, man.
You ain't been checking enough toilets.
Ask the audience. I went to the hardware store and checked every fucking toilet in there. Anyway, gonna wrap up 7 days and 20 minutes later. You know the rules. Hey, just because I tell you I'm ending doesn't mean I'm ending. Am I the only one who enjoys when Monk signs off? Look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and watching tonight. Thank you for all the donations. You guys are seriously far too kind. Kazatar, old, thank you so much. Wait, you shot a dog with a headshot? Are you sure it wasn't a tree? No, it was a dog, and I didn't kill him with the headshot. I had to immediately switch to my club and hit him in the head to kill him.
Yeah, that dog ate that blunderbuss. He was like, bitch.
Yeah, he
sneeze on me.
He swallowed that motherfucker. Anything you want to shill, Satsu?
Go check out my cooking channel. If you're not subscribed, it's Fam 2 Cents over on YouTube. If you're interested in that type of shit, and if you're subscribed to Monkey's gaming channel, then you might as well be subscribed to mine because he plays on mine more than he does his own, damn near. So,
no, that's true.
Monkey gaming, then.
And that link is below, guys. Gamer Valine, thank you. Emu shot first, just like Han. Yeah, they won just like Han too. Tonight we're going to be on your channel, Satsu 2 Cents, 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. I may or may not be over on my gaming channel playing a little bit more 7 Days to Die because I'm having so much fun with it. I really am. Satsu, next season, whatever it is we play, we need to bump the difficulty up.
Yeah.
Yeah. This shit is no joke. And they didn't give me the opening quests.
That might have been an error. I don't know if that's a...
Yeah, I don't know if it's part of the game or not, but that missing those first 4 points has hurt a lot.
I bet.
A lot. Yeah, I've had to slowly, point at a time. I'm wearing my nerdy glasses. It's one of the few things I did find that I'm really happy early on that I found them was nerd glasses. And even that, I'm going slow. My Horde night, I had 2 small hordes. It was so pathetic. Having died 3 times in the first 7 days, I had a game stage of 8 going into Horde Night. It was bad. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out. Satsu, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Yup.
Everybody, we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Fuck off. Oh, I can't say fuck off to these guys. Damn it.
You can say fuck off if you want to,
Okay, well, fuck off.
but I'm still gonna sing about